Picking up where we left off in the last clip, it's been a couple days since then, but we got a really nice day today. High was 68 today, and this whole week it's going to be 50 to 60s, which is really nice to be working on the car. And hopefully it stays warm, doesn't get cold again. Hopefully that's the case. We're going to be getting this box out today, fingers crossed. I watched a YouTube video on it, and I'll walk you guys through the process in case anyone else is struggling with getting this out. But I believe it involves coming here next, and these lines actually connect to the box, and I believe this is the box as well. Pretty sure on that, which means we'll have to get this, maybe this wiper arm out of the way, definitely this line, and I believe these lines down in here, yeah, these heater core lines, yeah, they go to the box, so we got to get them out of the way, and then we'll go from there. I'm gonna get these heater core hoses disconnected, then I'm gonna get this disconnected. I'm not sure if it oh yeah, I'm not sure if you can see that little bolt right there, and then these lines should come off, and hopefully that there's not much else securing the box around the heater core. Depending on how quick we get the heater core box out, we will be dropping the rear subframe all together, so the axles, the subframe itself, the lower control arms, upper control arms, and the R-tabs. That should all come out together. I'm going to be maybe getting that tonight. I'm not sure. We'll see how long it takes to get this box out. I'm going to set you guys down and show you guys the process of getting the box out. So this bolt right in there is a 10 mil. We're going to take that out. Oh, I think the bolt is spinning. So there we have it. So that's where the coolant feeds to the heater core. We're gonna leave this like this for now. We're gonna go on to getting that bolt out in there. This bolt in there is a number 6 Allen key or Allen socket. I really need a magnet, but there it is. Set that aside. And now the outlet hoses, I'm assuming, are free. Get this light out of here. And there we have it. Now that is free. Now, I am not sure what else is holding this in. These right there and right there. And I'll assume there's 2 more on this side. Those also look like a 10 mil, so I'm gonna go grab the 10 mil. I got those 2 10mm bolts that were on the engine side. It's not budging still. I've come to the decision that I will not be putting this in the new car. So it means I won't have heat, but I am gonna have heat. I'm gonna put in a universal system. I don't really want this in the car, the new car. This new car is gonna be drift built. This is only purpose is to drift, drive it to the track, drive it back. That's it. I have a daily, but it will have heat. This new car, it just won't have the OEM system, so that means I'm going to try to not remove this and just feed the dash, or feed the wiring harness behind it. This is all from the sunroof that was up here, so I got that unrouted. I need to get these undone, and then figure out where that's routed through and route it this way. And then the main power cable, actually that's going to stay for now. So we're just going to try to get these kind of shoved through to the other side. Not sure how well it's going to go, but we're going to give it a shot. I may have underestimated the difficultiness of removing the entire body harness. I'm at a standstill right now. The wires that are routed through the firewall right there, they come out in that little hole right there, and they run down to the to this light and to the wheel sensor. So right now I currently need to jack up the car, take the wheels off, and just so I can get those cables routed through the firewall so I can pull them out. It's not too much work, but a little more than I was expecting. I think I just figured out why the black box was not being coming out. So I had these two bolts undone on this side, but I couldn't see that there was two bolts on this side as well. So that was holding it in. So if we're lucky, it should just slide right out right. But we'll see if we get that lucky. I'm gonna keep wiggling it, pulling it out, see if I can get it. Well, there it is. I just had to give it a yank because apparently there was a seal that sealed it to that. So had to give it a good pull, and now it's just sitting here, but thank God it's out of the way. Just got to unplug some electrical connections here and get it out of the car finally. So happy to finally have that out of the car, and now I can hopefully get this chassis harness out because nothing else is left in the way right now. So should be able to get that done in this video. And there it is, out of the car. I actually didn't, just had to unplug one main connector that was plugged into the rest of the chassis harness, so that is out. If we come to the car now, so much room to just pull the chassis harness out now. Gonna be very easy, and super happy about that. I'm going to pull the harness out. It should be pretty self-explanatory. The only thing I think I might have a problem with is the fuse box, because I need to take all the fuses out and then route all the wiring through the firewall. So I have an idea what I'm doing. Just how hard is it going to be? I don't know. I haven't done it yet. We're going to find out though for sure. Super happy with the progress we've made tonight. Gonna get that harness out and see what time it is, see if I want to keep working on the car. If not, it's a great stopping point though. So I've got the fuse panel taken apart and all the relays and fuses loose. This is actually going to be a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. The hole is just so tight that all these wires have to go through that hole. And I'm pretty sure it's possible. I think I've seen somebody else do it on YouTube. I don't know the trick to it or what that may be. I'm gonna go inside the car and try to pull on the harness a bit. I really don't know how to get it started otherwise. I don't want to pull too hard and damage the harness, but that is everything that's coming out, and it's a lot. I have a second idea actually. So this black panel around the wires is the fuse box, and I wonder if I can remove this fuse panel box and then all the wires can come out that hole right there. That might be the better option. I need to figure out if I can get this box to become loose, and then all the wires can come out this way. I'm gonna see if I can do that real quick. I have some unfortunate news. I won't be able to finish getting the wiring harness out tonight. I forgot about the sensors that go back to the rear diff and the rear brake rotors, the wheel speed sensors. I didn't think about those, and in order for me to remove those easily, I might as well just drop the rear subframe and all that along with it. So that's the unfortunate news. I won't be able to finish tonight, but it will be in this video. It's going to be a different day. I'll show you the progress I got right now. I was able to get the fuse box out, so now the hole to feed these wires is much bigger. There are two wires that come down to the wheel, and they're routed up hole right there. They are currently stuck. I need to maybe remove the ABS pump to get them out, but this is ready to come out. In the car, all the wiring is loose and free, including the battery cable that goes all the way back to the battery. It's loose. The only cables that are that I just talked about are the ones they run through a hole right there, and they go each one to each wheel and one to the diff. Those are the last three cables that I need to disconnect and pull up through the car so that they're in the interior, and then they can be routed out and taken out. So those are the last three plugs that are giving me trouble right now, and I just completely forgot about them. And I'd love to, you know, keep going and get the rear subframe and all that out tonight, but it's just not feasible for right now, for tonight. Definitely is not something I'm scared or nervous to do because I have done it before. So once I start on it, it shouldn't be terrible. All the bolts are free, rust free, they're not seized is what I'm getting at. I just can't start it tonight. I got work tomorrow and I just need to go home, clean up. I promise you though, when I come back in this next part, this video, the wiring harness will be out, and hopefully the rear subframe, now that I have to take that out anyways. So this video maybe have taken me a couple days, but we're getting some big steps done to getting this chassis out of here. In hindsight, maybe I should have just bought a new chassis that had the harness in it, but we're too far in now. I mean, I could sell this chassis and get a new one, but we're too far in. We're gonna keep powering through, and yeah, it's really giving me an insight to the big YouTubers that do this stuff a lot more often than I know they have shops and they have multiple people working on it, but it's really giving me an insight on how much work goes into their cars. And yeah, so it's kind of nice to experience it once for myself, and I'm sure it won't be the last time I do it. But stay with me guys in this video. We'll be back and we'll get this wiring harness out. Thank you guys. Welcome to today's episode. I'm not super enthusiastic right now because I haven't been to the garage in about a week, and we had some heavy storms, and I came to some unfortunate news. As you can see there, that part of the roof is blown up, and the panels here are actually missing. And I know this because you can see light through about 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 sections, which tells me the panels are gone. And I can also tell because everything in this back side of my unit is wet. Car's wet. I mean, a lot of it I don't care about. My intake manifold, that's fine, it'll dry. Heater, it can get wet, but luckily nothing that couldn't get wet, like my ECU and my harness and all that stuff, it didn't get wet. So we got lucky there. I'm not sure how the owner said he's gonna fix it soon, so hopefully soon is very soon, because I don't want it to rain even more. It's supposed to snow here next week, so it's kind of a bummer. Not much I can do today about it, so I'm gonna keep working on the car. The goal, this might be a little far-fetched in today's video, get it gutted, get the rest of it gutted, and then tomorrow get rid of the car. Might be a little far-fetched. Let me run down what we have to do. Got to remove the rear subframe and the wheels and all that, but I can't really, the car's pretty low right now. Take off the R-tab bolts, 4 bolts on each side, disconnect the drive shaft, get the exhaust out, and then there's 4 bolts holding the subframe and everything together. So if you take out those 4 bolts after you have everything else, the whole subframe should just drop out. And I've done it before, so none of the bolts are rusted or seized because I made sure they weren't when I put them back in. So that should be pretty easy. Once we disconnect the wires in the rear subframe and the taillights and the fuel pump, the chassis harness can come out. So that's not too hard. Then we'll get the front suspension taken care of, taking off my angle kit, my shocks, and this front engine brace. Those bolts aren't seized because I've had them loose and, disconnected before. So that shouldn't be a problem. And the rest, ABS pump is staying in, I'm not taking it. Brake booster's coming out. And after that, that's about it. I mean, I'll take my body kit off, obviously. And I might keep this rear window as a keepsake. Maybe I'll put it on the new car, transfer some of my stickers over. Not sure on that, but there's like 3 steps, 3 big things, and then the car is empty and done for. So, and I don't think they'll be too hard. A, because I've done 1 of them before, 2 of them before, and the wiring is so close. We just need to get those wires disconnected. The plan is to first going to be get this rear subframe, diff, and axles and all that out, which means jack the car up, put it on some stands. Hopefully the rusted jack points will hold one last time. Put it on some stands, disconnect the R-tabs, drive shaft, and the 4 bolts holding everything in, and it should just lower down and I'll be able to slide it out. So that's going to be the plan. We're going to get that started. So we got to chalk the wheels so that the car doesn't roll, jack it up, and go from there. I'll show you guys how we do that. We've got the car jacked up. It's on that jack point that is pretty rusty, but I put all my weight on the car and it's not going anywhere. I'm gonna put a wheel underneath the car over on the side just in case that it does collapse. The wheel will catch it. Now the next step is to disconnect the drive shaft and the R-tab bolts. The R-tabs are the rear trailing arm bushing bolts. There's 4 on each side and they're not too hard to get to. Impact takes them out really easy. So we'll disconnect the drive shaft and the R-tab bolts, and then the entire subframe should be ready to come out. So here's the drive shaft right there. There's 4 bolts, and what you need to do is what I do is put a screwdriver through the joint to hold it so you can break the bolts loose. Let me see if I can get this tripod set up. Try that for now. So that through. 16, 17 mil. So yeah, one of mine is a 17 mil and the others are 15s. Screwdriver through. It's a little difficult sometimes. Also doesn't help my drive shaft is kind of flopping around right now. Okay, that one's broke loose. So they're all broken loose now. I'm gonna put the camera down. I'm just gonna spin them off and then let the drive shaft hang because it's still supported at the center there. Got the exhaust out. There it is right there. I got the sensors, a couple sensors connected to the diff. Got those unplugged. So next, it's gonna be the R-tab bolts. Sorry, hold on. There you go. So there's 3 bolts, I believe, holding each R-tab up. I'm gonna run these off with the impact, and those will just hang down. And then the 4 bolts holding the subframe is gonna be what's holding everything up. Got the R-tab brackets loose, so now they're hanging there. This whole, the upper control arm, lower control arm, axle are all free to go on the other side as well. Next, we have 4 bolts. There's 1 bolt, 2 bolt, 3, and then 4 on the other side. They are a 19, I believe. And I've already had them out, so it should just come right out. What I'm gonna do, get the jack to support the diff, so that when I take the bolts out, it'll lower down on the jack, and I can pull this whole rear subframe out. That's the plan. Hopefully it goes smooth without any complications. I'm gonna set camera up and record the whole process. I've got everything disconnected, and it doesn't seem to want to lower down. I'm not sure what's holding it. It's not the sensors. What I think it is, I think it's just stuck because there's studs hanging down. I think it's just stuck on the studs. So if I jack it up and kind of, I'm not sure how I'm gonna actually get that undone. Let's try something real quick. And there it is, free. Right now it's sitting on the rotors, which I'm not too worried about. So now I need to try to see if we can pull it on out this way. And my GoPro battery's at 2%, so I'm gonna go change that. I'll be right back. Switched the batteries, got a full battery now. And the plan is to hopefully just be able to drag it out this way and set it off to the side for now, so I can get back to working on the rest of the car. I'm not sure if it's gonna drag well. Set you guys up here again and try it out. Step 1 of today is done. Thankfully, not too hard. Gotta get the rear struts out still. Actually, no, they're blown shocks. I'm gonna scrap those. Now that the rear subframe is out, I'm gonna disconnect the wires from the taillights and the fuel pump and all the wires that go to the diff and the wheel speed sensors in the back. I'm gonna feed them up through that grommet hole right there, and then once all those wires are brought through, the wiring harness should be able to come out because there's nothing else that it's attached to. I'm gonna get this rear subframe out of the way and then pop the trunk and show you guys disconnecting the taillights. But let me get this out of the way real quick. So I actually didn't end up getting this out of the way. I don't want to move it too far because at the end of the night I'm gonna have to move it back into the garage. So I'm gonna leave it there, just work around it for now. Getting all the taillights unplugged shouldn't be too hard. Take out these bolts to get the taillight free so that I can undo the wires. And then there's the wires run across to the other side and then up there, and that's where I'll route them through. I'm gonna go ahead and get these taillights out and all the wires free and then route them through. Got the taillights out right there. All the wiring disconnected and it's all loose. So I'm gonna go inside the car and pull it through the gusset, or the grommet hole. Bring my light. so many exposed bolts sticking out of this car that used to hold things in, and I'm laying right on one. And that is all the wires that came just from the trunk to operate tail lights and evap system, and the brake lights on the trunk as well. Just seems so unnecessary. Now we need to tackle these lines right here. I'm going to pop this grommet out and see where these are going. I need to get a flathead for that. But we're making good progress. This wiring harness should be out pretty soon. This chassis harness, this harness is all attached to this. Now this is free. Just got to do, there's a couple wires here and a couple here that I need to disconnect from there. We're so close, guys. Very happy with the progress so far. I don't know if this car, it might be able to be gone tonight. I might be able to finish and get everything gutted in time, but all the places that I would take the car might be closed, such as a towing, like I need a towing service to come get the car, and maybe the junkyard's probably going to be closed. We'll see. If I can get it gone tonight, that would be amazing, but I also don't want to rush and forget something. So if not tonight, it'll definitely be out of the garage tomorrow, which I'm super excited to have it out of the garage. That way I can finally work on the new car, get one step closer to actually drifting again. My goal is to have the new car running and driving by the end of April. It doesn't have to be finished, like it might not have a hood, maybe it won't have a dash cover in, but running and driving and driftable by the end of April. And maybe it won't have the body kit. It doesn't have to be done is what I'm saying, but driftable, which I think it's a super obtainable goal as long as I keep working and don't be lazy and edit videos faster. I find myself oftentimes recording videos and then editing them like a week later. I just need to get better at it, more time efficient, but I will. I'm going to get all this harness towards up the front and get this one out from underneath the seat bracket, and then take a look at getting these unattached. I got the wires disconnected from the fuel pump, and one of them's the sending unit, I believe, and one's the pump. I got the wires pulled through from grommet. Those went to the rear subframe and the wheel speed sensors. So now all these wires are loose, along with these that are attached. So now we can finally start working the wires through the firewall. I actually decided to feed the engine wires through the firewall this way, just because it was less wires. Now all the wires are in here, and I can just bring them out the door, and I'm gonna put them in this tote. I'm gonna clear this tote out, put all the wires in there so that I can keep it protected from the rain, since my roof has holes, and that way I'm gonna take it home, and that way I can work on it at home, because I'm gonna wrap it all. I'm gonna put it in wire loom and fix anything that needs to be fixed. Maybe there's some nicked wires, I'm not sure. I'm gonna look over it all and check it out at home. It didn't quite fit like I thought it was going to, but this will be fine. I can just throw it in the back of my car and get it out of the way. But yeah, that's all the wires that it takes to power and run an E36. Maybe, I don't know, it just looks like a lot of unnecessary wires. Half the wires I probably won't even need. I don't know if I'm going to take them out of the harness. I'm not sure yet. I don't know if I want to go through all that, since I do have a deadline in time or in mind. So I'm not sure if I'm going to de-pin a lot of wires or just make it nice and neat and throw it in the new car. Undecided at the moment. Wiring, I don't think wiring is anyone's favorite. It's definitely not my favorite. But now that we have the wiring out, all that's left is front engine subframe, steering shaft, and the front angle kit and suspension, which is a couple bolts and it's out. I mean, at least for the suspension and angle kit. this car is definitely going to be gone tomorrow, which I'm super happy about. I wasn't sure when I got here today if it was going to be possible, but now that we just got the wiring out, that is a huge step out of the way. And I think I'm going to take a little break, maybe get some food, but definitely picking up in like an hour, and we're going to get this car fully gutted and out of here tomorrow. I'm so excited. Alright, I've got the bolts that bolt the control arm to the engine subframe disconnected. Now I've got these two right there and two on the other side. And then the control arms will be free then. And I've got these two bolts right there. Sorry, one bolt and then one bolt in the back on each side to disconnect the subframe. And the impact should be able to run those out no problem. I'm not going to show this, I'm just going to get it done, get those 4 bolts out, and then see what's free. I'm actually not sure. I haven't taken the engine subframe out before, but I'm pretty sure it's just those 4 bolts. But I'm going to run those off with the impact, and I'll give you guys an update on if it comes out or if something else has to be disconnected. Alright, I've got the tie rod ends disconnected. I marked them with a Sharpie so that when I'm putting them back together, I can have some idea, so I can get my car decently aligned, so I can get it to the alignment shop. Got that disconnected. I got these 2 bolts holding the subframe up disconnected. And I think when I do the other 2 sides that the subframe should be free and lower down, so I've got the jack there. I'm going to take those 2 bolts out and hopefully it lowers down. My GoPro battery, this battery is about to die, and I don't know if I have another one charged, but I've got every bolt, as you can see, disconnected. And when I disconnected the last one, it fell down a bit. But I'm going to lower the jack. And I made a mistake. I forgot about the steering column. I'm gonna take that, so I'm not using this one. I'm gonna do the e36 solid steering shaft method. So I'm actually gonna be cutting this one, but because I can't get the splines out either. I've tried so hard to get the splines out and they just won't come out. Unless I do that. I'm gonna try to hammer that now that I can get an angle on it. Let me try to hammer that out real quick. Alright, we were actually able to hammer that out. So now it's loose. It's all disconnected. Except this strut didn't come out for some reason. Let's give it a light tap. And there it shifted. Alright, so now that can get put off to the side. I'm not gonna take it apart until I get this car out of here. But we can get that out of the way now. I can remove the drive shaft, and I have to remove the shift selector or the gear selector. After those 2 things, maybe I might remove a couple more hoses from up there. But this chassis is 95% gutted. Just a couple more things and I'm super excited. Alright, we are back. Did a little off-camera work just because it's getting late out and I really wanted to get it done. And it was pretty just tedious work. Got the brake booster and ABS pump removed. I figured why not, just in case anything is wrong with this one, throw that one in. I got the pedals removed. Everything inside the car, besides the battery, I gotta take the battery out, all the parts are removed. I just gotta take out some tools now. I'll do a once over before the scrapper takes it. But everything in the front is gutted. The last thing is the gas tank. I think I'm gonna drop the gas tank. Just again, why not? I don't know this car. I've never seen it run. I don't know, the fuel pumps don't work. Maybe the sending unit doesn't work. So if I take my old gas tank out and all the pumps with it, put it off to the side, I'll just put it somewhere so that that way if I go start this car. For whatever reason, it's not getting fuel. I'll take the pump out of my old tank, put it in, and then I can get rid of it. But I figured, why not drop it? I've done this so much work gutting this car, drop the fuel tank just to have the peace of mind that I have an extra. I don't know if I'm gonna do that tonight. I don't know, I gotta get under there real quick. See, if it's just the 2 straps that most fuel tank is, it's like a strap underneath the tank, then I'll drop it tonight. Other than that though, battery, a couple tools, and the fuel tank, and she's ready to go to the scrap. I'm not really sad to see this car go. It'll be missed, but the new car is gonna be so much better. So I'm gonna get under the car, take a look at the gas tank, see how it's mounted, and I'll let you guys know if I'm gonna drop it tonight or come back tomorrow morning. I got the fuel tank out. It was only 3 straps. Just put the impact on them, and then I cut all the fuel lines because I'm not gonna reuse those. I'm just pulling the gas tank so I have the pump. And there's a lot of gas in it too, so I might as well siphon it out. There it is. Wasn't hard to get out. That means the car is 99% gutted now. Take the battery out, and she's ready to go. There's a towing company that I believe is gonna come tomorrow. I need to call them when they open at like 8 and see if they can get out here tomorrow. I really hope they can. I really want it gone tomorrow so I can clean up the garage. I've kind of just been throwing everything everywhere because it's kind of hard to move around. I just want this car gone, and then I can start putting all my tools away, start breaking down the front suspension, the rear suspension, get the engine on the motor, get the engine on the stand, and I can kind of consolidate these parts and then start diving into this car. But that's it for tonight. I'm gonna call it, go home, clean up, and be ready to come back out here tomorrow morning. It'll just be a couple seconds for you guys, but I'll see you guys in the morning. We're getting the trailer loaded onto a friend's trailer. We got the back side off the jack stand, and now I'm about to lift the other side so we can get the jack stand out. And then we're going to get the front off the wheel blocks, and hopefully the winch will just be able to pull it up no problem. That's the plan anyways. See how it goes. Probably set you guys up for a time lapse. We just got the trailer on with the winch. Got it all strapped down. Got this rope in the front because it's hanging off a bit. So the rope's red. It's a state law or something. Went on the trailer pretty easily. Now we're gonna take it to the scrapping place and get some money for it. I should be able to just forklift it right off. Hopefully we get $100 maybe. I'm not sure what it's worth, but this is the final shot of the E36. Can't see. Damn. What? You see it slide down his forks? And there she sits. You guys are probably wondering how much I got for my old chassis. I got a whopping $87 for it, which is not as much as I was hoping to get, but it's obviously better than nothing, and I'll take it. $87. I can spend on the new car. But yeah, so got the car scrapped, and I think today's video I'm just gonna end it up by cleaning the garage. It looks like a tornado came through here. Don't judge me on this, but it is very messy, very messy. I'm gonna clean the garage. I'll probably do a little transformation, do a before and after, get the garage cleaned, and then I might move this car. I want to have it kind of in the middle for now, so I can get to both sides of it. Might move the car over here and then start taking the parts out of the inside so I can assess what I need to start with, because I really need to get going on this car. My goal is to have the new car running and driving by the end of April, so May 1st hopefully. Doesn't have to be finished. I mean, it doesn't have to, it just needs to be running and driving, whether it has a hood on, whether it has a dash inside, anything like that doesn't matter. Just need it running and driving so that I can get some practice in, because I'm drifting at this big event in June up in Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Mile, Bruce City Banger V4, I believe. But yeah, I'm drifting at that, and I need to get some seat time in before that just so I can get warmed up and ready to go, which means I need this car running. So that's the goal. Hopefully we can get to that, stay on that timeline. But I'm gonna clean up and do a little before and after for you guys. This is the before, and there we have it. The garage is a lot more cleaned up. I don't have parts and tools everywhere. Got all my tools away. Got all the parts on this workbench right here. I'll show you guys that. There are all the parts. I just needed a place to put them so that they weren't on the floor. So at least up there, they're out of the way. I know it's up there. It's just kind of messy. I got the front of the car moved over a bit, but I realized it's gonna be a lot easier if I have somebody else's help with me doing that. I'm gonna wait to do that until I have a friend or a family come over and help me move that. But yeah, I got the front subframe suspension pushed off to the side, the rears and the radiator pushed off to the side. Just needed these wheels stacked up nice. And the engine, I'm gonna buy bolts to put that on the stand today or tomorrow, which means that'll be going on the stand, and I can get the engine hoist out of here or taken apart, and I can move the engine off to the side for a bit. My welding cart with no welder on it, I'm gonna get the welder back down here because I will need to use it on this new car. But yeah, I think we're gonna end today's video right there. Got the garage cleaned up and all the parts organized, which is what I really wanted, and moving this car over, I'll do that tomorrow with someone's help. It won't take long. Finally means we can start working on the new car. So episode 6, next video, we're gonna be diving into this new car, taking out all the parts that are randomly thrown in it, ripping out all the wiring, because I'm not using the wiring because the previous owner cut the harness in multiple spots, so it's trash. So rip out all the wiring, maybe drop the rear subframe. I'm not sure on that one, but definitely next video, we're gonna be ripping out the wiring as much as we can and getting all the parts out and kind of assessing everything. So stick around for that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like what you're seeing, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I really want to grow the channel. So I appreciate it, guys. See you next time.